Welcome to the realization station. I like weird things. If you like weird things, let's watch them together. Let's get into it.
2024 is going to be very chaotic. It's going to be weird. There's some weird movies coming out. How many guys saw the recent movie Leave the World Behind? Anybody saw that movie there? Oh, okay. Yeah, you know all these. Am I watching a movie or is this a documentary realistic thing? And then I'm seeing Mark Zuckerberg just spent $100 million building a house in Hawaii with a nuclear bunker. What does he know that the rest of the world doesn't know about? Talk about the timing. Oh, accidentally, coincidentally, a week after that movie comes out, a new movie comes out. What's the name of that movie? Civil War. Leave the world behind. Our power grid in America hasn't been updated. 75% of it hasn't been updated in 50 years. And you're kind of talking about that. Then you're pitting whites against blacks. There's a line in the movie that says, Dad, you know if something goes down, we can't trust these white people. I know that's something both you and Mom agree on. Why do you put that line in the movie, Barack? And you were helping with the script.
It's
Why
crazy.
would you put that in the movie? Why would you put that in the movie? Barack, weren't you the same guy that gave a talk at the DNC in 2004 about bringing people together? What happened to that guy?
You gotta wonder how much actual input he and Michelle really had into the movie, but overall, that movie is. I agree with his comment. Is this a movie or is it a documentary? Because there are some eerie things in that movie that you could really look at and just say, "Yep, this is a roadmap for a disaster," right? And Civil War coming out right after it. And now you see in the news with Texas is standing off against the federal government about the border. It's getting hairy.
So someone DM'd me this video, which is an interview in Spanish, and then it shows this video. So I'm just showing you a little bit of what the guy's talking about. But everything that happened in Miami, we gotta stay curious. I'm not sure about this though, but check out the interview.
30 patrullas y un helicóptero andaban siguiendo en la noche de Miami a esta criatura.
What do you guys think? I mean, obviously the quality is always bad, but like, how can you recreate that? That looks like a lizard demon alien.
Este es otro video de la criatura. Camina en cuatro patas y tiene una cola muy al estilo de los aliens de las películas. Sigourney Weaver. Y bueno.
Is this a movie? Is this footage from a movie?
Pero yo sí creo que existen. A lo mejor los videos que tenemos todos son falsos, pero de que existen.
It's got to be movie footage. That is far too public, right? If you saw a creature like that walking across what looked like at least a 4-lane road with cars stopped, and the fluidity of movement in that creature, whatever it is too concise. That if people saw that with that many cars around, that many people, and the only way to get that terrible of footage is if that camera person was way far back and they had to zoom way in, and of course it's low light because it appeared to be at night, but I don't buy it. I think it's a movie.
Three suns rises in Kazakhstan.
This comes up. It's actually like an aurora effect. I don't know what the actual scientific term is, but this is actually a pretty common thing. You can actually reproduce this if, oddly enough, and this raises a different question. If you have a snow globe and you hold that up to the sun, the way it reflects off the glass, it's pretty much the same thing. Now that brings up questions from people about the firmament and the fact that we live under a dome, but that's an entirely different topic. Okay, that's weird. Okay, that's strange. I can't explain that one. I have twins myself, so I even if they were perfectly in time and in tune, I can imagine that happening quite that way. But that's an odd one. Matrix is off.
Strange thing happening in 2024 in Japan. A lot of people you're watching this video, I want you guys let you know Japan is safe and this kind of things happening very rarely. Is a lady who wear white shirt with a long hair, and she did some activity with the knives and injured 4 people around her. It's very scary, but this kind of thing happen not often, but it happens. So when you're in train, if you see something a little bit strange, just careful, right? And another things, like people, this is the people who catch her and stopping her and asking for the police. People shouting, call the police, or something like that. And I don't know why every time Japanese lady do something strange in the train, they don't wear pants. Please wear pants.
I like how that's the takeaway. If you're gonna be a psycho and do something strange, at least wear pants. You know, with the state of the world today and the super high stress and anxiety and division amongst people, it's no wonder that these things happen. I know Japan statistically has a much lower crime rate on average, but people have their limits.
The Simpsons recently predicted 2 big things that already happened in 2024. First, they foresaw the Japan tsunami, and then there's the alien attack on the Miami Mall. The third prediction is pretty scary, so watch until the end to keep your family safe. In Season 17, Episode 18, titled The Wettest Story Ever Told, the Simpsons are on a boat near Japan. Suddenly, a huge wave hits them. But it's not just any wave, it's a tsunami. This massive wave heads for the city and wipes it out. They also foresaw the alien attack on the Miami Mall. In a more recent episode, Bart and Lisa are on vacation in Florida, hanging out at the mall when they discover a creepy alien in the storage rooms. Little did they know, minutes later there's a full-on alien invasion. Now there's a third prediction for 2024 that's really surprising.
The Simpsons have a amazing track record for predictions. So if this is true, I haven't watched any of the newest episodes. I'm way behind, but if this is true, it's pretty on par with The Simpsons.
Il découvre un bébé plesiosaure.
Oof. It's hard to say what that first one was. I'm sure it's some kind of genus of animal that we either recently discovered and are not well known, or is a new discovery. Does kind of look like a dinosaur though, which would be super cool. The rest of it, I don't know. Could be a manatee, could be anything. The footage is not great, so when you shoot something on a potato instead of a camera, what do you expect?
I heard this year is the year of exposure. I heard this year is the year that lots of people are going to be exposed. This is the year called karma. Strange, that's my middle name. Just joking about that. But I did hear that this year is called karma. That all of the people who have done wrong, that shit's coming to the surface. That shit's coming to the light. And all the people that have done right, all the actual good people are going to be blessed this year. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Well, Cat Williams is starting it off just right. I must say so myself. And whenever you see demons get exposed, they scatter like roaches with a lifetime.
It's not really a strange one, but I liked it. I believe in karma. I think that if you live your life authentically with good purpose and good intentions, not perfection, but good intentions, then good things will come to you in the end. And I think if you live inauthentically with ill intention and ill will, again, not not purposely being negative or doing negative things, then I think the universe does try to balance itself out. So,
isn't it interesting the way Hollywood is beating this drum about the return of the Titans? Thanos, the Mad Titan, Sam Worthington, who was in Clash of the Titans and Wrath of the Titans, starred in a movie last year, went straight to Netflix called The Titan, and the new Godzilla movie, where they have rebranded them. They're no longer Mutos, which is what, monsters of unusual size or whatever. They rebranded them as the Titans, the original and rightful rulers of Earth. Because again, presenting them as Titans, the original and rightful rulers of the Earth. The Titans are still around. In fact, I argue in my book, Last Clash of the Titans, that they are somehow still influencing things on this Earth, even though they are currently chained in the abyss. Revelation 9 says they're going to get out for 5.5 months at the end.
I think there's so much about the universe, Earth, existence that we don't understand. I think that in a universe full of creation and magic, you have to allow for these things to be possibilities. And I think that we just don't know enough to categorically call these things untrue. As much of a Godzilla fan as I am, and I've been since the black and white days, I just love those movies, especially the old ones. I would not be enthusiastic about seeing Godzilla come trouncing up on the shore. It would not be ideal. So,
let's talk about those 10-foot tall aliens that were roaming around the Miami Mall, but just somehow taking social media by storm. So on New Year's Day, video was released showing an insane amount of cops flocking to the Miami Mall. The police later said that 4 teenagers were detained and faced charges of burglary and grand theft. People online were instantly like, what are you hiding? Because that's a lot of cops for arresting a couple teenagers. So one person who claimed they were there starts talking online about how there were 10-foot tall aliens walking around, UFOs, yada yada, which is what the police were really going after. In reality, those rascals that thought a New Year's Day brawl would be fun also brought fireworks which were set off. The reason so many police showed up for something so simple is because people thought it was an active shooter. But too late, the alien theory has won the internet, and now people are dissecting a blurry video claiming this must be the alien. The guy even said in a follow-up video he was kidding about his story and he's never even been to Miami, but it's too late. People that believed him are now convinced the government went after him specifically to cover up his story. But what about that blurry mystery figure? Well, a clearer video shows that it's just 3 people walking.
There's a lot of stuff in the news about this Miami Mall alien thing. Look, there's not enough conclusively to say it was something or wasn't something. And I think, if anything, this is a 100% prime example of a very successful disinformation campaign. So I think it's perfectly plausible that this was a disturbance at the mall with a large group of individuals. The police called for backup with a special code that's essentially like an all hands, or it could have been something else. I think that there's enough there that there should be further investigation, but there's enough there that it could be nothing at all as well.
Oh,
Okay. that's gotta be Photoshop. If that's not Photoshop, then welcome back, Jesus. I'm ready at this point, because the world is off its rocker. It gave me goosebumps though, not gonna lie. But if that was authentic, then I would think we would have more than one video, and I would love for that to be authentic, but I don't think it is. Okay, that was much clearer video. I've seen that portal video, which is supposedly the portal that opened up in the middle of the mall that a couple of the witnesses described. Yeah, it looks pretty legit from my perspective. That could totally be, you could, the telling sign is the way that people react. And you really have two groups, right? And this is kind of like a psychological basis. You have a group of individuals that go into flight and they run, and a lot of them do that. And then you have some that turn the other way and they are too enamored with trying to get a video or whatever. You could see the one individual definitely trying to get a video. I'm sure that video is never going to surface. So that one seems pretty legit. The one of the creature crossing the road was clearer than the previous one that we looked at. And again, that fluidity of motion is really on par with the way that a biological life form tends to move when you look at, similar shaped animals, for lack of a better word. I really hope it's a movie because if that's legit, that's a little disturbing. However, you really got to think about from the perspective of just because something looks intimidating and something looks unknown, they could be benevolent. Who knows? We don't know. We're just making judgments based on our own perception of things. So if it looks like a scorpion, it's going to freak us out.
If you know, you know. Jim Gaffigan came out swinging at the Golden Globes last night. Check out this video.
I can't even believe I'm in the entertainment industry. I can't. It's so unlikely. I'm from a small town in Indiana. I'm not a pedophile. I don't know if that's a new category here, but I'm here to present an all-new category. All right? An all-new category. This is going to be the first time stand-up comedians are going to be acknowledged at a major award show. Okay? And, it's, in a way, it's like the Golden Globes, 80 years. For 80 years, good-looking people threw a party, right? And then you guys finally decided to invite the talented people.
I think it's interesting, the reactions from his audience. They're somewhat muted, right? It's almost like he said some additional things during this monologue that he had. And I think it's interesting that you can see some of the reactions kind of break a little bit. They're not quite as jovial as you would expect them. They're not playing along, I guess. And you can see some somewhat muted reactions as he's speaking about certain topics. And you should go watch the full video. I do think it's funny that he made these statements, and then Ricky Gervais was the one that won the award. So. Yeah, a lot of that just sounds like complete and utter hogwash. I think the Yellowstone caldera volcano is probably the only one that I would lay any kind of valid trust in. It is long overdue for an explosion, and it is frightening to think about the magnitude of what that would do if it actually went off. And it's depicted in the movie 2012, and I think that what it shows in that sequence is probably pretty spot on and definitely terrifying. The rest of it just sounds like fun. But yeah.